anything else.
So you're done at Michigan State. Now this is the part that a lot of people aren't going to understand when you're going into a your off season or you when you graduate from Michigan State and you're going to play in the NFL. Could you share with us what it's like to be a free agent or to you started out with the New York Jets. You said you were there for 4 years.
Yep.
What was that like? From your vantage point, what was it like to go from now you went from Hall of Fame career Lord Norris, Michigan State big power program to the New York Football Jets? What's that like? What is that whole experience like?
It was a dream come true. Um, at the time, I look at it at two different perspectives for me. At the time, when I was there, I really felt like I belonged there. I belong there. I should be playing. I should have a spot here. And at that time, it's all about grinding and trying to make a squad and stay on the squad. I was so intent on making that squad that first year and doing whatever it took for me to stay there on that squad those next 4 years that, I didn't really have a chance to like really enjoy it at the time because it was just working and I'm trying to prove to people that this is where I belong. I should be here. I should this isn't no mistake. I should be in the NFL. And it was just going hard every day. And I had my fun there too, but it was more of a grind. But then, after it's all over, when I sit back now, being 38 years old and, I've been out the NFL since 2006, you get a chance to reflect on what happened. And it was a dream come true. And it was like I was up there with the best players in the world, some of the best athletes in the world, and I was competing against them. And I was doing pretty damn good against some of those guys. So I belong there. And that is something that, you watch the NFL now and you hear you got all this social media, you got all these things now that we didn't have when I was playing. But you're like, yeah, that I was doing that. I
Yeah.
did that. I was there. I know that grind. I know that hustle, and I survived in that for 4 or 5 years. So it makes me feel so much better about myself just thinking about what I had to do to get there and how I stayed there and got there. So it was super awesome, man. It was an experience like no other. And I was so blessed to even just get that experience because can't nobody ever take that away from me either.
Never.
That I was there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that work they butt off and they start from little kids growing up, and that's their dream to get there. I actually got there, and I actually got a chance to participate in there, and I actually scored a touchdown in a preseason game. So, they can't ever take that away from me
Never.
either.
You know that you from see you are on the side of you grew up in football at Lloyd Norris and then at Michigan State and then the NFL. There are a big group of people, especially most of the people that have watched this show, that have no idea the amount of work it takes to get where you got. They're just a lot of people are disgruntled with a $60,000 a year job, and they're like, man, this guy plays football and he makes hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. He should be happy with that lot. And I've always tried to explain to them, Lil John Flowers and Todd Duckett and Herb Haygood and these guys did not. It's not like they woke up somebody and somebody handed you a free lottery ticket. You actually had to put the work in for that. It's impressive to sit back and see the
Mhm.
level of development that you guys have year after year after year to get what the dream, what you were just talking about,
Right,
that dream.
right.
So you did the work and then you benefited from it for 6 years. But I wanted to ask you a question, not specifically about dollars and cents, but from growing up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is not a huge town. Then you move to East Lansing. You live in New York, the media capital of the world, and you get paid to play football. Did that tell me what happened when you actually let that sink in? From Lloyd Norris to Michigan State to getting paid in the media capital of the world. That's a hell of a transition.
It is, man. It was like, I, coming from Kalamazoo, um, it's so yeah, it is a nice small little town. It's growing now, but it was so small. Not a whole bunch of stuff to do down there. When I went to Lansing, Michigan, um, it was like, wow, it's so much stuff to do here. It's like this is so like, wow, you got these things to do. We can do this, we can do that. It's so much better than Kalamazoo. And then to go to New York, the capital.
I can't imagine.
Wow,
I can't
it
even
was
imagine.
like, I would go and this was before like we had MapQuest on or GPS on our phones and stuff.
Yeah.
I would just go and get lost in New York in the roads and just try to find my way back home and just see all the different things in New York. It was so big and so massive, all the freeways, all the different barrels and all the different, trying to see all of that stuff. It was crazy, man. It was something that a guy that never really seen a big city before. Um, it was eye opener for me, man. It was eye opener for me, and to go back on the thing that you were saying about the work that we had to put in to get to where we had got. That's something that I tell my son. My sons every day almost is like you have to put in that work, man. It isn't something that we just I just all of a sudden just dropped me off and I was in the NFL one day. That came in with some work. That came with hours of work, hours of doing, push-ups, sit-ups, running, doing the hours of conditioning, training your body, practicing, playing football. It took a lot of work. It was a nonstop job. And then to try to get to the NFL, you had to learn how to work out on your own. Like I had to learn how to work out on my own because after Michigan State, there was no, hey, we all about to go over here and work out because we're all on the team. No, it was just me.
Right.
And I needed to figure out how to get myself in shape and myself ready to play. And it became a mental battle with my cell phone, trying to push myself to the limit, to the extra limit to get to where I was. So it was a 9 to 5 job, if not a 9 to 9 job, or early in the morning until late at night. You working out, you practicing on your game. It was those guys. They didn't deserve the money, or any guy that's at that level, or those people making money, or even like Kirk Cousins now. He don't deserve that money. He earned it.
He did earn it. You're right.
He earned it, man.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear anybody say they deserve their money. They didn't. They don't deserve it. They earned it.
They did
because they put that time in there to get it, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my sons, man. You don't deserve nothing.
Yeah.
You go out and earn everything.
It.
Go get it, man. And that's the message that I send to my son. That's the message that I send to the guys at Michigan State now. When I go back and talk to them, they have to go out and earn everything that's given to them.
Yeah. So what's next for is coaching on the horizon at all for Lil Jon? Anything to do with football at all?
Well, basketball.
Oh.
Probably coaching basketball.
Uh-huh.
That's probably my next step is coaching basketball. Man, I am a huge basketball fan. I love basketball. I probably love basketball more than I did football. I just never grew as tall as I wanted to. But I was vertically challenged.
Vertically challenged.
When it came to basketball.
Yeah.
So, but no, I really want to coach high school basketball. That's a job that I'm really looking into with the job that I have now and what will seem right for me, because I want the kids when they're in high school, and I want to influence them at that point when it's fun and giving them tips and pointers on how to prepare themselves for the rest of their life and high school, because I had so many great high school coaches that helped me get to where I am today. Those guys are guys that will call me and check up on me right now. Those guys are the guys that I'll call and talk to and check up on them. Those high school coaches are huge, and that's what I want to do. I want to be in high school sports.
Well, I think me and you, if you can break into that profession, we'll be able to spend a lot more time together. That's exactly what I work, sports scene, and I love dealing with the coaches and that. As a matter of fact, I think JW Sexton job might I think it might just have opened up. Maybe get you back to Lansing and a head coach for the Sexton Big Reds. I'd like to see you there. But anyway, hey, listen, Lil Jon, I appreciate you taking the time. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of anybody that was a Spartan and played football. But I don't just, it's not like I show up on Saturdays and that's it. Like, I really recognize what you guys did. And that's why I really wanted to have you on here, because I appreciated your high school career. I really appreciated your time at Michigan State. You put the work in. Every time I see you, you're always humble and you have good energy about you. So I really appreciate this. And I thank you for everything you did while you were at Michigan State.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me on there anytime, man.